welcome to week 2 of this yoga course. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Sorry that the camera's shaking. My cat's trying to attack the camera stand right now, so I'm just gonna get him out of here. Wanna say hi? Okay, bye. Bye-bye. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the course so far and that things are going well. Please, if you ever have questions, don't hesitate to come into the tutorial or reach out and message me, email me, whatever. You could write in the classroom stream or you could send me an email. So today we're going to be going over a few of the same poses from last week, but also I'm going to add in some new ones to the class. So for today, you're going to want to have 2 blocks if you can. If you can't, we'll make do without. A blanket's always a nice option, and a strap is good to have. There's one pose in the class today you may want a strap for. If not, no worries, we'll all give you different alternatives if you don't have a strap. So we're going to start today with a breathing exercise. And this breathing exercise is called fire breath. Okay. In Sanskrit, it's Kapalabhati breathing. And in English, we say the fire breath. So last week we did the 3-part breath, which was quite relaxing. This one is a lot more, I should say, invigorating. Okay, so it's less relaxing, but it gives you more energy, more fire. People who should not do fire breath, okay, are those with any types of breathing problems. It might be difficult. You could try it and see for yourself. If ever it's too hard, you stop. If you're pregnant, you should not be doing fire breath. And some people believe that women who have their periods shouldn't be doing fire breath. I'll leave that up to you as a decision. So for fire breath, come and sit back onto your heels. If you find that this hurts your legs, you can always take a blanket and put it behind you, and that might help a little bit, or you could put it under your knees. If sitting like this really just doesn't work for you, then come into a cross-legged position. You could do this sitting on a chair actually as well. Okay, so fire breath. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of reverse the way we normally breathe. So normally we focus more on the inhale and the exhale happens a little bit more by itself. In this one, we're going to really focus on the exhale and we're going to let the inhale happen by itself. So if you can bring your hand to your stomach and pretend you're coughing. Do you see how when you cough, your abdominals kind of contract in? So that's what we're going to be going for. So I'll show you kind of what it looks like first, and it looks a little bit weird. But what this breath is good for is that it really kind of cleans out your system, your nasal passages, your lungs, the whole thing kind of gets clean. So sometimes, hopefully this doesn't happen to me on video because it's a little bit embarrassing, but sometimes like things fly out of your nose. So hopefully that doesn't happen on video, but you never know. Okay, so what it kind of looks like is this. So if you can see my stomach, what's happening is when I exhale, my abs push in. Just like, it's that same idea. Okay, I'm getting this to push in pretty forcefully. Okay, so we're gonna clean out our system a little bit and get some energy into our bodies. So we'll do 3 sets. The first set, we're going to do 20 rounds The second set will do 30 rounds, and the third set will do 40 rounds. You follow me as best as you can and just try it out. Okay, so let's take a few just regular inhale, exhales. You can close your eyes. Just try to get a nice full breath going on. I'm just checking the camera because I'm paranoid that it's actually not filming. Okay, but it is. Good. One more like that. And then we're going to take a nice inhale and get started. And let it go. Take a few regular breaths. So we did 20 that time. This time we're going to do 30. So take an inhale and then we'll start. Last set, we're going to try 40. If it's really too much for you, you can stop at 20 or 30. All right, inhale. And now let your breathing come back to its regular pattern. It's normal if you feel a bit dizzy. That can get a lot of oxygen flowing to your brain. Just take a few calm breaths and let your breathing return to normal. Ready, we're going to come to stand at the front of our mats. And we'll do a few Hatha Sun salutations. So find a nice standing posture at the front of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up and slightly back. Exhale, fold all the way down, bending your knees if you need to get your hands to the mat. Inhale, step the right foot back, gently drop the knee, look forward, push a little bit into the hips. Hold the breath, come back into a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale, glide forward, untuck your toes, look forward or up. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot all the way to in between the hands. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Exhale, tuck the back toes, step forward. Inhale, up. Slightly back. Exhale, hands to the heart. So that was half of a sun salutation. Let's do the other half. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, left foot goes back. Gently drop the knee, look forward, pull the hips forward. Hold the breath, step back into a plank. Exhale, chin, chest, and knees to the mat. Inhale, glide forward, untuck the toes. Cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot all the way to between the hands. You might have to walk it. Use your hand to pull it. Drop the back knee, look forward. Exhale, tuck the back toes, step forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do another sun salutation. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right. Hold the breath. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale. Other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come into mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back and away from the ears. Ground down into your feet. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. 3 breaths. Gently blink your eyes open if they were closed. We're going to step the right foot back into Warrior One. So remember, in Warrior One, your feet are on 2 tracks. You're bending into that front leg, making sure your knee is in line with your second toe and straight over the ankle. Your hips are facing forward. So if they're over here, spiral them forward. And then bring equal weight into both feet. Both feet are flat onto the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. You can look forward or you can look up. 3 breaths. Some people like to have the hands, how do they do it? Some people like them closer, some people like them further, some people like this as well. You can see what feels good for you. From here, we're going to open up into a Warrior Two. So adjust the front foot into the middle, the back foot further back, and now I have my one line. Okay, bend into that front leg. You want your knee right over the ankle in line with your second toe. Your hips this time are to the side in Warrior Two. Bring your hands out. 3 breaths here. Shoulders away from the ears. Loosen your jaw if you're holding tension there. Smile. From here, we're going to come into reversed warrior. So your back hand can drop onto your back leg. You're going to spin your front palm towards the ceiling, and you're going to inhale, reach up and back. All right, come back into Warrior Two. From here, we're going to come into side angle. So your forearm can come down to rest onto your thigh, and your back hand is going to spin to the front. And your chest, imagine your chest wants to open towards the ceiling. 3 breaths. If you don't like your arm resting here, you can straighten it out. It's a little bit harder, so you see what feels better for you. Inhale, come back to Warrior Two. From here, we're gonna come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So straighten that front leg, send your hips back, okay? From here, reach as far forward as you can. When you can't reach further, spiral your arms. And if it's okay on your neck, look up. It's like someone's pulling your hand towards the ceiling. Yeah. Next inhale, come back up, back into Warrior Two. Inhale, exhale, step forward. Shake it out. We're going to repeat that sequence on the other side. Okay, so from mountain, we step our left foot far back this time. Our left toes turn to the left corner of the room. Our front toes are forward. Our legs are on 2 tracks. Bend into that front leg. Make sure your knee is over your ankle and in line with your second toe. From here, bring your hands to your hips and bring your hips forward. Good. Bring equal weight into both feet. And when you feel ready, bring your hands up. 3 breaths here. So some of you did this pose last week and you said you felt empowered and you felt strong. That's great, because warrior pose, that's exactly the way you want to feel. From here, we're going to open it up into Warrior Two. Bring that front foot into the middle, the back foot further back. Bend into the front leg, knee in line with second toe, right over the ankle. Hips to the side, arms out. You can look back to check that. Sometimes our back arm gets a little bit lazy. Bring it up in line with your shoulder. 3 breaths. From here, we're going to come into reverse warrior. Drop the back hand onto the back thigh. Spin the front palm up. Reach up. Inhale, come back into Warrior Two. From here, side angle, bring the forearm down to the thigh, spiral the left hand forward. Imagine your ribs want to turn towards the ceiling. 3 breaths. You can always play with straightening this one out if you want to. Inhale, come back into the warrior 2. From here, straighten that front leg, send your hips back, reach as far forward as you can, and then spiral the arms. If it's okay on your neck, look up towards the left thumb. Imagine someone's pulling that hand up towards the ceiling. 2 more breaths. Next inhale, come back into warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, shake it out. Okay, we're gonna go into extended hand to big toe pose. I'm gonna give you a lot of options here, okay? So I think I'll start with the easiest and work up to the most difficult. In no way do you have to go to the most difficult pose. You can experiment, have fun. Don't do anything that causes you sharp pain. Play around with it, okay? So we're gonna first spread the right toes and then put them down, giving us a solid foundation. Then we're going to pick up the left leg, okay? So option 1, you can stay right here, holding onto the leg or with your hands on your hips. Up to you. Option 2, we open the leg out to the side. We can keep one hand on the knee, one on the hip. Option 3, we reach the opposite arm out to the side and look towards the thumb. And we can stay here. Now, if you want to go a little bit further, okay? If you want to come into the full extension of the pose, I'll show you I'll show you what the full pose would look like. So you would grab for your toe and straighten this leg. That might take years before you can get there, or maybe you can already do it. But some little tricks are that if you have a strap, you could use your strap here and then open the leg. Okay, so you don't have to quite be reaching for your toes. The strap could help you. Okay. You could also hold onto a wall. So imagine my wall was closer, I could have my strap and hold the wall. Or I could hold my toe and hold the wall. So those are a few different options. Feel free to go with whichever one you want. And when you've held it for long enough, shake it out. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So this time spread the left toes wide, 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 wide. Good. Pick up the right leg. Crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling, grow nice and tall. So option to stay here or here. If you want to go further, you can open this out to the side. You can open the left hand out and look to your left thumb. And you can stay here. Or if you want to go a little bit further, you could hold onto the wall, try to reach for the toe. You could use your strap, or you could just try to get your toe from here. So up to you. We'll take 2 breaths. And then Then we'll come, bring everything, no matter where you are, back to center. Exhale, and then we'll shake it out. So I've been practicing yoga for about 10 years, and there's a lot of poses that I still can't do and that I'm still working on. So please don't feel pressured to go like to the max right away. It's really like a progression. So start with where you are, and every day you practice, it gets a little bit easier, and maybe you can go a little bit further. Okay, just most important to stay safe. You don't want anyone getting hurt. Okay, so from there, we're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold. If you have blocks, you may want them, and you could place them in front of your mat. Hopefully you can see that. Let me just check. Yeah, okay. So, if I only have one block, unfortunately, this would not hold my weight, but just for like demonstration purposes, it's also not good because they're two different heights. But let's imagine they were the same height, okay, and they were strong. You might want to use them, you might not. So, wide-legged forward fold. You're going to spread your legs about the distance of one whole leg. Something that could help is if you stand right on the back edge of your mat, so your feet are in line, and you want to turn your toes slightly inwards. Okay? So, from here, bring your hands to your waist. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips. Now, if you have blocks, you can bring your hands down onto the blocks. You can see what level feels good. Okay, so depending on how open you are in here, it's going to be how much further forward you can go. So if you're really stiff, don't push it, just stay where you are, and every day you practice, it'll gradually release. Okay? If you happen to be really loose in this area, maybe you're already going to be able to bring your hands to the floor. And if that's the case, awesome. You can bring your hands to the floor. So you're either on a block or you're on your hands. If you have your hands to the floor and you want to take it a little bit further, you can bring your hands in line with the feet. These are all options, okay? Nothing is mandatory. Just giving you all the options. So you can bring your hands in line with the feet, and then you want to let your head get really heavy, and it's almost like you have cobra arms, or chaturanga arms, I should say, sorry. Like you have this little bend here. Okay, and eventually what's going to happen over the years is you'll get looser and looser until you can bring your head down right to the floor. That doesn't have to be today. That took me years and years. So you just see where you are for today. Let your upper body be really loose. And we're going to take 5 breaths here. And then on the next inhale, walk if your hands were in line with the feet, walk them back out so they're under the shoulders. If you're on a block, just wiggle your feet a little closer in. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips and gently come out. Maybe you want to shake out the legs a little bit. We're going to do a few other versions of this forward fold. So for the next one, you want to bring the legs wide, wide, wide again. We're not using blocks this time. We're going to bring our hands to our hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, keeping the hands at your sides. We're gonna take 5 breaths here. Next inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Exhale, bring your feet a little bit closer, shake it out. Okay, for the third variation of this, open the legs wide again, turn the toes in. And in this one, we're going to interlace our fingers behind our bums. Okay? So, something like this. Right? And then, inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. And let your arms come up away from your bum. So maybe they come this far, maybe here, maybe yours go further than mine. Wherever you are, just let your body relax. 5 breaths. Oh, and if you're having trouble interlacing your hands, you can always hold on to a strap behind you. So, something like this. Two more breaths. Next, inhale. Up, exhale, let it go. If you're really dizzy, take a few moments. You could stand in mountain pose. Catch your breath. We're gonna do one last forward, wide-legged forward fold. And for this last one, you have the option of doing what I'm doing, or you can go back to the first one we did with the blocks, whatever you prefer. Okay, so if in the first pose you were holding blocks, you're just gonna do that again. So spread the legs wide, turn the toes in, hands to the hips, inhale, and come back to your blocks. The version I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reach for my toes, and I'm going to use my peace fingers to hook onto my big toes. And I'm going to bring my thumbs onto my toenails. I'm going to inhale, exhale, fold, and I'm bending my arms and pulling my toes up, and I'm pushing my toes down onto my fingers, and I'm trying to make a rectangular shape with my body. 5 breaths. If you're on a block, same thing, 5 breaths. Next inhale, I'm going to bring my hands back under my shoulders. Exhale, inhale, hands to the hips. Exhale up. And shake out the legs a little bit. Okay. So from here, let's come down into a child's pose, just to take a little rest. So child's pose. You can either have your knees wide apart and you walk your arms forward, bring your forehead down. Or if your forehead doesn't reach, bring your forehead down to a block. My sit bones, so the bones in my bum, are reaching towards my heels. They don't have to touch my heels, but that's the direction. So I'm not here, I'm here. If this is uncomfortable, another version is bringing the legs together and reaching the arms back. The head can still go onto a block or right onto the floor. We're gonna take 3 breaths here. Let's work on the upper body strength a little bit. So we're gonna come into a plank challenge. So you can try to do it for 30 seconds or maybe for a minute, depending on how you feel today, how strong you feel. So for plank, we can come back into the tabletop like last week. And then we just reach our feet behind us and we're in a plank. So make sure your plank, I'm gonna just turn. So your plank, you want a flat back. It's not a downward facing dog. Okay, so that shape I have here is for downward dog, but for plank, I don't want that shape. In a plank, I want a flat line with my body. Okay, so if you're still in plank, drop down to your knees, take a few breaths of rest, and then we're gonna try to hold the plank for a whole minute. If you have never really practiced this and you're able to hold for 20 seconds, that's a great start. Okay, so don't feel pressured to hold all 60 seconds if you get too tired. If you get too tired, drop your knees, come into child's pose. All right, so set up in your plank. I don't really have a watch, but not a timer. So I'm just gonna count 60 seconds in my head. Keep breathing. Make sure your wrists are under your shoulders. Your toes are under your ankles. I think we're at 10 seconds. $20 seconds. Reach the crown of your head forward, reach your heels back. $30 seconds. $45 seconds. $50 seconds. And 60 seconds. Come back into a child's pose and rest. Take a few more breaths in child's pose. And then come to sit onto your bums. We're gonna work our abs a little bit. So This pose is called boat pose, and there's a couple different variations to it. You can take the one that suits you for today. Okay, so bring your soles of the feet to the mat and lean back a little bit. So you want to feel like you're not upright on your sit bones, but you're just back a little bit on them. Okay, so bring your hands under your thighs and lift till you're just on the back of your sitting bones. Okay, so option one can be staying right here. Option two, you can try to straighten your legs as much as you can. So maybe that's here. Okay, option three is you let go and you keep reaching your chest forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, it's okay if you're shaking, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. We're gonna do 2 more sets. So again, you choose whichever variation you like. Okay, for the second set, I'm gonna stay here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. And then last set. Right? Go big or go home, they say. I don't mean it. You choose the set you want. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that go. And then come down onto your back. Bring the soles of your feet together and just send your breath right into your abdomen. I'm going to take a couple of breaths right here. You can bring your hands to your side or bring them right onto your stomach. For the next pose, we're going to come into threading the needle. So bring the left sole of your foot down to the mat and bring your right leg on top of your left. Flex your right foot, so your right toes face towards your right knee. From here, you have this triangle you've created with your legs. You're going to reach your right hand into that triangle, and you're going to bring your left hand around your left leg and grab on. Okay, so I'm holding on to my left leg, bringing my head down. Inhale, fill up the belly. Exhale, pull the legs towards the chest gently, keeping this foot flexed. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Inhale. Exhale, gently pull. 2 more. Inhale, fill up with air. Exhale, pull. Last one, fill up with air. Exhale, pull. Good. From here, I'm going to bring my left foot back down to the mat. Let the hands go. Open the hands out in a T shape And I'm going to let my legs fall to the left side of my body. Move some things. All right. You can look towards the right if it's okay on your neck. If you want, you can bring your left hand on top of your legs or just let it be. So we're doing a variation of supine twist. We're giving a gentle twist to our low back. So anyone with low back issues, this might feel really good. If it doesn't feel really good, you can adjust your legs higher or lower, or maybe you just want to put one on top of the other. You could play with it a little bit. And if nothing feels good, you don't have to do the pose. Three more breaths here. And then next, inhale. Bring your knees towards your chest and gently rock, I should say, from side to side. You can rock as much or as little as you like. The idea is that it should feel pretty good on your lower back. So you can rock all the way or just a little. Okay, from here, this time bring the right sole of your foot onto the mat and cross the left leg over. Flex your left toes towards your left knee. Okay, so active foot helps to protect the knee. And then you have this space you've created. You're going to bring your left hand through the space and your right hand around the outside of your right leg. So you're grabbing onto your right leg this time. Okay. Inhale, fill the belly with air. Exhale, bring the right leg a little closer to your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Keep this foot flexed. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Gently bring that right sole of the foot to the mat. Open your arms out into a T shape. Inhale. Exhale, let the legs fall this time to the right. You can bring a hand on top if you like, or not. You could also bring both legs on top if it's more comfortable. You can play around, adjust the height of the legs. You're going to be here for 5 breaths and look away from your knees if it's okay on your neck. If it bothers your neck, you can look the same direction if you want to. Here, hug your knees into center again, and you can rock a little bit if you want. You don't have to. Some people may even want to rock a little bit front to back. Just see what feels good in your body. And then I'm going to get you to tense up. We're about to go into Shavasana, but first we're going to tense up into a little ball. So wrap your arms as tightly around as you can. Reach your head towards your knees. Squeeze everything together. Your toes, your face, your butt, your tummy. Everything. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Open up into Shavasana. You can adjust any clothes that feel like they're in the way. If you want to remove your hair elastic, if you have one, adjust your shorts if you're wearing shorts. Make it so you're comfortable. If you're already comfortable, then you don't have to adjust anything. If you feel like you might get a little bit chilly, you can also take your blanket and put it over yourself. Okay, so the feet should be mat distance apart or more. Your arms should be by your sides with your palms turned up towards the ceiling. And in Shavasana, our goal is to do nothing. It's to let our body absorb all the benefits of our practice. Here for about 5 minutes. See if you can let yourself relax. And let everything settle down and be still. Think about a snow globe and how when you shake it, all the snowflakes move around and are really busy. But when you put the snow globe down and you let it settle, all the snowflakes eventually settle too. So it can be a metaphor for our thoughts, and our emotions. Things happen, we get really busy, everything shakes around. But when we take the time, we can let all of those thoughts settle down. Shavasana. You can stay. You don't have to turn over just yet.
If you are ready to come out, turn over and take at least 3 breaths on your side. After that, you can use your hands to come up into a seated position.
And we'll end the class with 3 Oms. Om is said to be the first sound of the universe. So up to you if you want to join me in the Oms, or you could just sit and focus on your breath or stay in Shavasana. I'm going to take a regular inhale, exhale. And then I'm going to inhale for Om. Shanti means peace. When you're ready, you can gently blink open your eyes or stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Thanks for practicing with me today. Thanks for giving me a reason to practice as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope that you feel good.